Hey guys, welcome back again to another round of Kenya Fan TV. Been away for a while, FA Cup break. I'm sure some of you guys have been watching, some are not. But we had the weekend, big games going on, big results. Let's go big first of all. Wanga, welcome back, man. You've been quiet for a while, man. I think Amarim has put you into some fasting or some retreat somewhere. I don't know. Tell us, man,
He-
because this has been quite hard for you guys, man. Man United just seem to be going down and down at the moment.
He's back from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to be back once again, Abdi and Steve. I think it's been a rough time for any Manchester United fan out here, and we needed this silence break. Our team clearly is just on its deathbed. We cannot, from the results we've been having the last five matches, clearly, as a Manchester United fan, it's disappointment day in, day out. But it's not disappointment with the coach, it's a disappointment of recruitment. I think this team was the kind of selection or the kind of recruitment the Man United board made were a team that was supposed to, play for Eric Ten Hag. And the new manager has come into the wounds. Our midfield is, totally out. Manuel Ugarte out injured, Kobe Mayuna out injured. Our best player who, was doing well, that is Ahmad Diallo, is out for the rest of the season. So I think as a Man United fan, it's a bit more disappointing. And it's just a matter of, hoping and hoping. And the more we hope, the more we keep on getting beaten. But I hope for the next season, Amorim will stick to the manager. It's a matter of, we don't get rid of build this team definitely from the kind of performances we are seeing. Maybe a matter of 2 or 3 transfer seasons. But at the end of the day, I think Manchester United will come back, but not anytime soon.
Yeah. Steve, I mean,
Yeah.
you heard that, man. You heard that. There's a lot of pain in his voice, man. You can see it. You can hear the pain,
Yeah.
the suffering. I mean, where did they go from here, man? I mean, Amarim's tactics right now, no one's seeing anything at the moment. It looked like there was a glimmer of light in that game against Liverpool when they had that really good game. But so far, it just seems like, the players are just not up for it. Garnacho is just not performing. Players have gone out on loan. What else can he do, man? Short of being sacked.
Yeah. Abdi, I think if you can track back to a discussion we had, I think, was it match week around 18 or 17 there, right about there. I said something about the hopes of Manchester United trying to salvage. I think it was after Amorim came in, trying to salvage the season. They're in a position whereby I don't think it's a matter of even winning the games they have at hand right now because they've changed a coach mid-season. They got the interim manager. Now they have a new manager. I think the only thing, and I think I mentioned this the same way, they just should take care not to go to the relegation zone. That's what I mentioned the last time. To ensure they don't go to the relegation zone, at the same time, working on the team that he has. We've seen him offloading Rashford to Aston Villa as on loan, of which I think my speculations are that Rashford is not coming back to Manchester United. I think that ship has already sailed. As much as he's on loan, I think that ship has sailed. He's not coming back to Manchester United. So I think it's about time just with the same sentiments I said last time because there's nothing much to talk about Manchester United. They're having not even a poor season. They're doing bad. The situation comes from bad to worse, and it worsens. It never gets better. It's just a matter of ensuring they don't get relegated, of which is difficult to happen, but you still have to take care, and then work with the team that you have, because he has players, and Abdi, you and I, and even Wanga can agree. Manchester United has got some. Let me not say quality players because it's about the game. Let me say they have some quality. They have some quality names. Yeah, they
Uh,
have some quality names. Correct me if I'm wrong.
big
They
big
have
name.
some
They got
quality.
some big names.
Yes, they have some quality names. So, with those quality names, I think, and the expertise of Ruben Amorim, I think let him just try and put the team together because this season they have nothing much to salvage apart from the FA Cup where they are and the Europa. Those are the
That,
two
that's
places they
that's
are.
that's that's chances, but that's been Man
Yeah,
United's trophies for the last few years anyway.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The best way I can view Manchester United under Amorim is to go back to the drawing board. Just make your own team, because this one is gone. Just make your own team. There's nothing much to talk about Manchester United
Yeah,
anyway.
that's yeah. It's getting really bad for them. I mean,
Yeah.
Wanga. I mean, if you look at you guys, yeah. I mean, what's the target now for Amarim in terms of what's left? You know, the January transfer window's gone. You've got like 13 games left in the Premier League season. You still got the FA Cup going there for you, man. I think it's still Europe. Europe is going on still, isn't it? The Europe is it? No, was it you in the Europa League?
Yeah.
Man United. Yeah, you're still
They're in the
there.
Europa League. Yeah, they were number 3, like Arsenal in the.
You got the Europa League, but I guess he does have he can possibly have some baselines where he can work from, in terms of like getting that
Yeah.
trophy, getting aboard. I mean, I think he already has a clue the players he wants to offload.
I think Abdi, when we brought in Ruben Amorim, his first sentiments were he wants to win the Premier League because that is what the fans have been demanding since Sir Alex Ferguson retired.
Yeah, but
You
that's
know,
easy to
he
say than
did
done. I
it.
mean, you come in. He
Yeah,
came in
yeah,
like midway. He didn't come in like he's not gonna come in and say
yeah.
midway. I'm gonna win the Premier League.
Yeah, he said that, and he was clear with the fans. He told them, "I know you are desperate for this Premier League title, but with the kind of squad that we have, it's gonna take at least 2 to 3 transfer seasons so that we can get the right players who can perfectly fit and play in his style of play or his system, the one that he was using in Sporting Lisbon." And it's a matter of the players because when you look at maybe Tottenham game, you saw Ruben Amorim giving clearance to the likes of Diogo Dalot to stay tight on Heung-min Son. And Dalot was just everywhere. And the kind of chances that Manchester United, I think it's Manchester United have scored the least goals in the Premier League this season. They are the least team that's scoring less. They are not putting their chances. They are not putting their chances behind the net. Alejandro Garnacho has been, poor this season. You can just mention, and as Steve has said, there are just a few select players that are in the Manchester United, and in fact, it's just names. Remove Bruno Fernandes from this particular team. Who else do we have? I think it's a matter of trusting the manager. And for us, the season, as far as the Premier League is concerned, I think we are just yes, we cannot we cannot go for the relegation, but at least we have something to fight for. We have a fixture, an FA fixture against Fulham, which is it's also a tough match considering the kind of injuries we are having right now. And you also have the Europa League round of 16. So I think Ruben Amorim's focus right now should be at least trying to win the Europa League and at least qualify for the Champions League so that next season we are able to attract at least some, big names and players who can fit in his style of play. But as far as I'm concerned, if we continue this way, things are going to even get worse because with this kind of team, with this kind of performance, I no longer even recognize my football club.
Okay, so I guess the road you're talking about going back to the Champions League will be the only road you really have is to win the
Mm,
Europa League. You're not going to finish in the
yeah.
top four. But Steve, let's let's
Yeah.
let's let's move it on a notch. Um, let's talk about the other big boys. Let's give a quick shout out to Manchester City. If you call that game, that was the big game against Newcastle, 4
Yeah.
0 I was a bit surprised. I thought Newcastle might put on a better show, but it seems to be that the new boys at City are sort of finding their feet and getting into position.
Yeah, I think, and that is why you get that a quality manager will always look for ways to beat around difficult games and difficult times, because if you observe the way Manchester City approached that game, it's not as the previous games that they've been struggling from. Because guys always, like, it's normal for guys to always expect the likes of KDB, who's normally on the bench these days, expecting Doku and the likes, expecting Haaland to be the key breaking point, expecting the likes of the unspoken one, Foden. But now you see, you make a signing during the winter of a person who comes in a Newcastle that is not struggling, a Newcastle that is doing well, a Newcastle that has beat the number 2 best team in England at the moment twice in a row in a gap of a month. Then it ends up being beaten with a Manchester City that we ended up beating a 5-1. It tells you a lot because that was a different approach. From my perspective, that was a different approach that really made a very big difference because you saw how the movement of Mamouche in that game,
Yeah.
that was pure tactics because it's a shout out for him, his first goal and his first hat trick. That was very nice. So I think Abdi, if not you or Mambo who had mentioned the fact that City have a way of resurrecting in the second part of the season. Because at times when I look at the points that we have, the points that we have, not even Liverpool, the point that we have and the point that City have, and the fact that squad we have, you might start shaking your legs and shivering and thinking maybe this again. You might end up being number three because we know the quality of Manchester City, and specifically speaking, Pep Guardiola. That team can make wonders whenever, like in a blink of a second. So it was a good game. Kudos, a 4-0 game, very fantastic. Uh, there's no downside about it, but at the same time, that game, I
Yeah,
think
that I mean,
we give too much hype for Isak was nowhere. Isak was completely. You know why I'm saying that, Abdi?
yeah,
Abdi, you know why I'm saying that? I think I ever made these sentiments with some boys when we were chilling, like the boys, and saying Isak is good, but he doesn't have the consistency of a top class striker. Not he's a bad striker. Get my words right. The consistency. Do you, if you observe, let's just use the game against Wolves against Liverpool. Let me use Cunha. If you watch the Liverpool game and saw the movement of Cunha coming back to the midfield and engaging the game to make presses and also attacks,
mm,
and the way Isak was doing it in the Manchester City game, and the game that they were beaten by, is it Bournemouth?
yeah.
Yeah.
Abdi. Those are two different strikers. That is work rate. When you talk about work rate, I think it's just. I think with the work rate of Cunha, I think I'll give Cunha. I'll give Cunha. Uh,
I think you're being a little bit,
Yeah, I think
harsh and
a
critical there
little bit
because
no,
harsh,
no,
yeah.
I'm not
at
being
the end of
harsh.
the day, you got
Abdi,
to look
Abdi,
at
just listen to me. Abdi,
yeah,
Abdi, please. Yeah? That's why I've picked a few scenarios. You see, that's why I just picked the scenario of the game that happened this weekend. Look at the way Cunha was pressing the team to make a difference in the game, and the way Isak is pushing the team. Two different strikers. That is my aspect. That is my perspective.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. But you're
My
playing,
perspective is that the way that Isak is more like, give me, I'll deliver. Cunha is more like, I'll do it.
yeah. But
So
Isak's a number nine. He's a proper. He's a striker. You know what I mean? He's a number nine. That's what you need. The thing about it
Cunha
is
is
like
also a striker, man.
you need a striker. But look, I'll leave the City one with you. Wanga, let me bring Liverpool to you. Huh? I'll bring.
Yeah.
We had the view of the city.
Mm.
Possibly, as Steve was saying, this could be a sneaky little second half return by them to chase that second place position. Clearly, not try to chase the title, but second place position in that they can chase Arsenal down. But definitely, Nottingham Forest is in sight. They're only 3 points behind Nottingham Forest, third place. But let's go on to Liverpool. What are your thoughts on Liverpool? I mean, can they be catched? Do you think Arsenal have got it enough in them?
Yes, I think looking at that Liverpool match against Wolves, I think it was an entertaining match. And from a neutral point of perspective, I think Liverpool, the way they tend to finish their matches is a bit worrying. We saw in the second half, Liverpool could not afford even a shot on target in that particular second half. They were completely outplayed by Wolves, and that is something that we also saw against. The game of Everton, where they conceded a last-minute equalizer, and I think it's a bit disappointing from a Liverpool perspective fan of view. But moving forward, Liverpool have the players. You can see the player that they have on the bench, and you can see the momentum that they have currently. And I think they are going for it clearly, as Ernest Lott said. Mohamed Salah said, "This is the year." He thinks this is the year, and it's coming home. So I think from a Liverpool point of view, Liverpool are a good team. The kind of the presses they made, but defensive wise, they're a bit poor. We saw in that particular game they could have easily gone down to 10 men. Ibrahim Konate could have easily received a second, yellow card. And the defensive side of Trent Alexander-Arnold is just something else. So I think if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be a bit worried because defensive wise, they are a bit shaky right now. They are conceding too cheaply. Let's not take away Matthews Cunha goal because that was an absolute beauty. But Liverpool so far are doing well. Having a 7 point lead is not easy, and it's a bit considering the number two, the out number two, that is Arsenal, the traditional number two, that is something we are used to. This is not something new.
Man, you just can't say
Aye.
traditional
Yeah,
number two,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
We're
Ah,
saying
just
So
I
Iba.
can't I can't
that
go
is,
back
yeah,
myself with that.
it's something normal. Arsenal being second position is just like a Kenyan politician called Raila Odinga being taking the early lead. So I think looking at the Arsenal side, an Arsenal side who are struggling to find a striker. When we looked at that Arsenal game against Leicester City, they really struggled in the first half. They couldn't find the back of the net despite the chances that, and they also struggled to create these chances. But when you compare them with a Liverpool side that clearly you see this Liverpool side are going for the
but
Premier League title.
but Wanga, allow
Okay,
me
okay, but
Wanga,
we're
Wanga,
still on the okay. We
Abdi,
can step aside
Yes.
from the Liverpool now. Now we'll come to you,
Abdi,
Steve.
before
We'll come to you,
But
Steve. Now we'll go.
if
Tell us
if
now.
Abdi, let me
You
finish
saw the
by this.
reply
If
there on
if
the
if
Arsenal.
if it was
You
I
saw
feel
the
like
Manchester
you're gonna
reply there on
City
the
interject.
behind,
Arsenal.
if it was Manchester City
Nah.
behind Liverpool, I could have been a bit worried because Manchester City have the
Ah,
ability.
Wanga, you've
We've
been
seen
saving that
the
bar. I see
ability of
you've been
coming
saving
back.
it, holding that in. Steve,
Yeah.
listen. End of the day, he does have some points there. Arsenal are becoming the traditional number two gang, but that 7 point gap is there. They seem like there might have been something from Wolves. They did put up a little fight in the last few minutes, last few second half. But it's still there. They put the points on the table. I mean, they're still hanging on. They're keeping that gap until both teams meet each other. But then with that gap, that game between them, Liverpool basically nullify whatever happens in that match. But Liverpool have got a serious next 3-4 games now coming up in terms of the running. And going like Arsenal's point of view, you know what Arsenal need to do, but in terms of like the personnel what they have and what the missed opportunities in January window, is it possible? Can Arsenal catch them?
And that's why Abdi went. That is why I wanted to interject Wanga, but not in a bad way. I just wanted to pose it in a form of a question because let's put aside the banter, like the banter of I'm an Arsenal fan, you're Manchester, whatever, all that. Let's put the facts on the table. Look at the Arsenal team right now. Yeah, have a closer look from positioning, from the coach, and the depth. Then mirror the same perspective with Liverpool. Right now, I'm writing off everyone from number 3 going down. Arsenal, Liverpool, one page. Not a matter of statistics, not a matter of anything. Let's look at the quality of the manager. Let's look at the quality of the players on the field. Let us look at the squad depth.
Liverpool are way
And
better.
look at our points. Look at our points and look at the points that Liverpool has got. Look at how Arsenal is hanging on. Because if I do that comparison, if I put those two teams together in that perspective,
Yeah.
I would say Arsenal is a lesser team, or Arsenal is the handicap team in this perspective. And then remember, we've managed to hold on. Abdi, you remember the time we were talking about Liverpool having a game in hand, and I was telling you we can say the points to be even 12 because they haven't played against
Yeah, yeah.
Everton. Then it came back to 9. Now they've played the game in hand. Now it's back to 7. They're gonna play the game on Wednesday against Aston Villa side, an Aston Villa side which has got ammunition recharged with the likes of Marcus Rashford and Asensio. So look at that team. I'm not saying that Liverpool are going to lose the match. Look at how we've managed to hold on to that position. We've managed to narrow down the gap, the points. We're trying to. I'm telling you is that we are doing good. With the squad that we have and the depth that we have, we are doing good. Because it all narrows down to the 3 points, regardless. Merino is the midfielder, he scored 2 goals. We garnered no matter how the game was, we got the 3 points. Liverpool
That's a good point.
didn't shoot anything, didn't shoot anything in the second half, but they still got the 3 points. Nobody wants to talk about it.
That's a good point. I mean, that's a good point you made there. And just before we leave, we give a little shout out to the great Chelsea. They faded off a little bit, but so
That's not a shout out, man. Shout out to Brighton.
Shout out to
give a
Brighton.
shout out to Brighton. To give a shout out to Brighton right there. They're putting him under pressure, but they're still in the running for the top 4 positions. Guys, also, I just wanted to say,
I feel like nagging you a bit when you used to have a discussion of Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool.
hey, how that has changed so fast. How that has fallen out. And to be honest, I believe Arsenal are going to fall off like that. But Arteta's got his black magic going on so far. It's been working for him with his little maneuvers. It's just like he's just been like typical scraping through games like Stoke City and all these previous teams. He's just going through it through the runs. Guys, please subscribe for the channel. You're helping us grow the channel. Thank you very much. But just on the end note, we got the game on Wednesday coming up, and then by the time we reach on Sunday, actually even Monday, because then Liverpool have got Wednesday away to Aston Villa, and then on Sunday they're going away to Manchester City. A resurgent Manchester City. That's gonna be a heavy game. But then come Monday or come Sunday night, the table can look very, very different than it's looking right now. It could be a huge favour for Liverpool, or it can be the title can be really back on again.
Yeah, because if Manchester, okay, look at this scenario. Let me finish up with this. Look at this scenario. If Liverpool draw or lose to Aston Villa, and then Arsenal draw or lose, I'm just being practical, and then Manchester City win against Liverpool. Woof.
No, in theory, like
yes, in theory, of course.
What you need for the title now, what the Premier League really needs right now is Liverpool to lose the next 2 games. That's what I said. That's what the Premier League needs.
In theory, not what the Premier League needs.
That's what I say.
That is what
hypothetically.
For the neutral. I'm not being biased here. I'm just saying for the neutral, for the league, you need it to bring back to a point where people don't feel like it's a foregone conclusion. If by any chance if Liverpool drop these 2 points in these 2 games, it will be a problem for them because they've still got a heavy running. They've got a more tougher running than Arsenal have, and you have to say if they lose these next 2 games, Arsenal will feel like okay, this is not Manchester City we're chasing now because that will be the first call because you've already seen it this season. This second half is not going to be like last season's second half. Both teams will drop a lot of points still.
I think also it will be an entertaining end to the end of the Premier League season because when you look at Liverpool side, clearly even the coach said and it's not they are getting tired. The amount of fixtures they are having is disadvantaging them. They have a Carabao Cup final. They are still they have the Premier League to chase, and they also have the Champions League compared to Arsenal, who are just after the Champions League, which they have never won, and which is so hard for them to win, and also they have the Premier League to chase. And when you look at this Arsenal kind of score, what gives me joy is when you look into this Arsenal side.
Bro, I want you to. Bro, that is not a statement I'll let you walk away with. No, you can't walk around with that statement in your mouth.
Let's do this, guys. Let's come back midweek. I think we should come back midweek.
A word for my Manchester United fans. I know it's kind of rough right now out here.
Keep hope,
but
stay alive.
We need to stay alive. We need to keep hope in the manager. I know he's not making these strides, but we've had managers come in, day out, and we are still in the same hole. So I think if we give this particular manager, that is Ruben Amorim, to do what he did at Sporting Lisbon, because we brought him mid-season, we didn't expect miracles to happen overnight. It's been a process.
Okay.
Arsenal has been here before. Chelsea has been here before.
No, get Arsenal out of your mouth,
We've given you your Manchester.
It was a word for Manchester United fans.
Now we're ending it there, guys. Let's end it there. It's late now. We'll talk next time in midweek. Thank you for your time, guys.
See you at midweek.
Nice one.